Hey friends, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. And this right here is Miss Angel. So welcome to day 4 for the core on the floor. Yep, that is right. We will be building strength in the core today and staying nice and low to the ground, using the support of the earth to help us throughout our practice. Have some water close by and feel free to pause the video at any time if you are looking for a longer break. All right, without further ado, let's get this party started. Okay friends, join me on the ground, finding a cross-legged seat. And when you arrive there, place your hands on your knees. All right, let's begin to draw some circles with the torso. Breathing in to smooth your heart center forward, look forward, and then breathing out to round through the back body, chin towards the chest. Breathing in to continue the circle, coming forward, and then breathing out to round through. So I invite you to continue these circles. We're warming up the body, starting with a very gentle warm-up today. And then whenever you're ready, you can reverse that circle, taking it in the other direction. So the core is super important. The core stabilizes the entire body. It can help and support us in our everyday activities. Strengthening the core can help with posture and balance. And it can also protect us from injury, such as low back injury and discomfort. So, strengthening the core is good. All right, allow your circles to become smaller and then smaller until eventually you are aligning your head over your heart and then your heart over your pelvis. Place one hand on your lower belly and then the other hand directly above that hand. Breathe in through your nose, and then breathe out. This time, as you breathe in, send the breath to your hands, and then breathe out. This time, we are going to send the breath to our hands, but when we breathe out, it will be a very short, sharp exhale through the nose. Let's give it a try. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Do you notice that contraction or that movement that is taking place underneath your hands when you do this? Breathe in. Breathe out. If you're not feeling that, let's try to cough. And of course, proper hygiene, we'll cover our mouth as we're doing that. And then place one hand on your belly. So breathe in. And then cough. Breathe in and cough. All right, do you feel that movement? So you may be wondering why we're doing that. It's kind of silly, right? But we're doing that because I'm going to say brace your core, engage your core throughout this class. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're really going to feel that that movement that's taking place underneath our hands when we are doing the postures. All right, so let's get to it. Place your feet on your mat, knees point towards the sky. Place your hands on your hamstrings. Loop your shoulders fine length through the back body. Hug your belly button in towards your spine. So we're already engaging the core here. Breathe in. And then breathe out to begin to lean back, but keep your heels resting on the ground. Rest of the foot is lifted. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to lift your feet away from the earth. So we're leaning back even more, shins about parallel to the sky. Point through your toes. So there is an option to bring the legs together, or you can keep the feet hip distance apart. Option to stay here, or you can send your arms forward, reaching your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Now find some baby pulses. So lifting and lowering your hands slightly. And if you are looking for a little bit more of a challenge, my friends, you can play around with straightening through one leg at a time. Yep, that's right. We're definitely building some heat today. Feel that fire in your core. And we are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, And then lower down on the one. Feet can rest on the earth. And then wrap your arms around your shins and then bow your head chin to chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Perhaps you can already feel your heart beating. So my friends, I encourage you to take a sip of water here. And throughout this practice, we will have periods of rest. So feel free to stay in a posture for a longer period of time if you need to. All right, lift your head, cross your ankles, and now let's make our way to all fours, where we will meet in a tabletop position. All right, when you get there, stack your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet root down into the earth, hands nice and wide, those fingers are nice and wide, pressing into the fingertips. Rock your pelvis forward, belly button hugs in towards the spine, and then reach the crown of your head towards the top edge of your mat. So our foundation is very important here as we enter this next posture and movement. All right, curl your right toes under and then slide your right foot towards the back edge of your mat. Breathe in. And then breathe out to lift your right foot away from the ground. Dial your toes down so your toes are facing the mat. Really press or imagine that you're pressing the sole of your foot into a wall. Your back leg is about parallel to the sky. Breathe in here. And then on your next breath out, reach your left hand forward. Imagine that you're shaking someone's hand. Press away from the earth. So this posture is called bird dog, which is really great for the low back. Breathe in, and then breathe out to begin to hug it all in, elbow towards your knee, rounding through the back body, just like in cat pose. Breathe in to lengthen and extend, so reaching, and then breathe out to hug it all in. Breathe in, lengthen, extend, and then breathe out, hug it all in. Breathe in to reach, and then breathe out to find your tabletop position. Great work. Curl your left toes under, and then slide the left foot towards the back edge of the mat. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to lift your left foot away from the earth. Dial the toes down, that back leg is straight. Really hug the belly button in towards the spine, so that way we're not arching through the back body, we're bracing that core. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to send the right hand forward. Breathe in, breathe out to hug it all in, elbow to knee. Breathe in, reach, lengthen. Breathe out, hug it in. Breathe in, reach and extend. Exhale, bring it all in. Breathe in, finding your bird dog, and then breathe out, finding your tabletop position. Great work. Come to sit back towards your heels just to give yourself a little bit of a break off of the wrists. You can take some zombie arms here by pointing the fingers towards the earth. Loop your shoulders. Maybe you tick-tock your head from side to side. Reconnect with your breath. You can take a sip of water here if you would like. All right, shake it on off. And we're going to make our way back to all fours, starting off in a tabletop position. All right, and then whenever you get there, step your feet towards the back edge of your mat. We meet in a plank pose. Press away from the mat. So really hugging your belly button in towards your spine, so that way your front body meets your back body. All right, drive your right knee in towards your left elbow. And then like you're drawing a rainbow, that knee then goes over towards the right elbow. And then back to your plank. Left knee comes into the right elbow, draw the rainbow over to the left, and then back to plank. All right, so keep this action going. Go at a pace that feels good for you. Keep that breath flowing. Wherever you are, one more on each side. All right, breathe in. And then breathe out. Lower your knees to the earth. Never felt so good, right? Bring your big toes together, knees about as wide as your yoga mat, and then sit back towards your heels. Reach your hands forward. Breathe in. Breathe out, allowing your heart center to release to the earth, forehead to the earth. Soften through your fingers, soften through your arms. Notice if you're clenching anywhere in your face, especially the jaw, maybe the teeth are clenched. Can you make space there? So for stronger postures, we tend to hold our breath or create unnecessary tension. So perhaps we play around with finding a little bit more ease and grace in even these stronger postures that we explore. By checking in with the body, keeping that breath flowing. Again, I invite you to take a sip of water. We're here for one more breath cycle. All right. Carve a line with your nose as you look forward towards the top edge of your mat. Press into all that is touching the earth as you rise on up. Lovely. All right. Now lower on down to your left hip, so onto the left side here. And then lower onto your left forearm. So that way your forearm is about parallel to the top edge of your mat. Bend at your knees and then tuck your feet in behind you. Place your right hand on the earth to start. Breathe in, and then breathe out to lift your hips away from the ground. Rock your pelvis forward. Beautiful. Now you can place your right hand on the ground if you would like more support, or you can place it on your hip. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to lower down slightly so the hip is hovering. Breathe in to lift, and then breathe out to lower. Breathe in to lift, breathe out to lower. Lift, lower. Lift, and lower. One more. Lift, and then lower on down. Great work. Let's just take it on over to the other side, so to the right side now. All right, let me just fix my mic. And when you get there, lower onto your right forearm, and then we're gonna tuck the feet in behind, the knees are bent. Left hand on the earth just to support us for the transition. Breathe in to lift your hips away from the ground, rock your pelvis forward. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to lower. Breathe in to lift, breathe out to lower slightly. Breathe in to lift, breathe out to lower slightly, breathe in to lift, breathe out to lower slightly, breathe in to lift, breathe out to lower. Let's do one more, we can do it. Breathe in to lift, and then breathe out, lower on down. Great work, everyone. Make your way to a comfortable seat. Place your hands on your belly. Let's breathe in together through the nose. And then breathe out. Breathe in through your nose. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Great. Let's make our way back to all fours. All right, and then when you are there, send your feet back. We're gonna find a plank pose, press away from your mat, and then rock a little forward and back a few times. Lighting a fire in the core, we're bracing our core even here. Front body hugs in to meet the back body, you got this. All right, and now shift forward, coming up onto your tiptoes, and then begin to bend at your elbows as you lower on down to the earth. Untuck your toes, and then reach your arms forward. So straightening through your arms. So for our next posture, it's going to be super important to keep the pubic bone connected to the earth. So let's all rock the pelvis forward. Feel that connection to the earth. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to lift your head and chest away from the ground. Same with your arms and then your legs. All right, so only, really the pubic bone is really pressing on into the earth here. Tuck in your chin slightly. Breathe in, and then breathe out to begin to bend at your elbows, bringing your elbows closer towards the side of your body. Breathe in to reach. Reach forward. Breathe out to bend at your elbows. Breathe in to reach forward. Breathe out to bend at the elbows. One more time. Breathe in, reaching forward, and then breathe out to bend at your elbows, hands hovering. Breathe in to reach forward, and then breathe out to lower and release. Oh, that must feel good. All right, you can just release your forehead to the mat. You can actually also stack your hands on top of one another, creating a little hand pillow. Your elbows go from left to right. Just breathe here. Noticing the rise and the fall of your belly as you breathe in and out. So that one is really great for strengthening the back body. All right, friends, so you can lift your head away from your hands or your mat, and we're gonna do a super duper fancy yoga move. I'm just joking. We're just gonna roll onto our backs. All right, and I'm just gonna center myself on the mat, but you can stay exactly where you are. And then whenever you arrive there, hug your knees in towards your chest, and then just place your hands on your knees and just find a gentle rock from side to side. All right, find stillness. Now stack your knees so that way they are over top of your hip points. And then lift your shins so that way they're parallel to the sky, and point through your toes, or you can flex through your feet, your choice, whatever works good for you here. And now for the series of our floor work postures when we're down on our back, it's super important to keep the low back connected to the ground. So scoop that tailbone up, or rock your pelvis forward to really feel that low back connect to the earth. So there should be no gap between your back, your low back, and the mat. All right, now send your hands to the sky, palms facing one another. So the next movement that we're gonna be doing is called dead bug, and this is really great for strengthening the core. So whenever I say come back to start, this is what I mean. This shape right here. All right, let's start off by extending through the left leg, and then begin to lower your left leg closer towards the earth. At the same time, you're also going to lower your right hand up and overhead towards the back edge of the mat, hovering off of the ground. And then come back to start. Extend through the right leg, begin to lower as you begin to lower your left arm towards the ground. And then come back to start. So continue this action, just being mindful of your low back, keeping it connected to the ground. We're really engaging the core. And then when you have the hang of this movement, I invite you to connect breath to action. So what I like to do is I like to breathe in to come back to start, and then breathe out to lower. One more on each side. You can do this, friends. You got this. Wonderful. Hug your knees in towards your chest whenever you're done, and just find a little gentle rock from side to side. You can sit up and take a sip of water if you would like. Okay. Now let's send the legs to the sky, and it's okay if the knees are bent. You know, my hammies are really, really tight, especially first thing in the morning, and I've been filming a lot of this series in the morning, so you can bend those knees, it's all good. Scoop that tailbone up to really feel that connection to the earth, and perhaps even right here you can already feel some work, some engagement being done in the core. All right, Send your hands towards your feet as you lift your head and your shoulders away from the earth. Now find some baby pulses here. So we're lifting and lowering slightly, but we're still keeping our head and our shoulder blades lifted away from the earth. We're looking towards the sky, chin tucked in to protect the back of the neck. And wherever you are, we are here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, lower and release. Whew. You can give your belly a little bit of a pat. If you feel any like trembling happening, I just that's prana, that's energy flowing through you. Just remember that. And also remember that you are doing awesome. All right, so that one really worked the upper abs. Now let's work the obliques, shall we? Okay, so plant your feet on your mat with your knees pointing towards the sky. Again, rock that pelvis forward, feel that low back connect to the earth, and then place your hands at your sides, palms facing down. Begin to lift your head and your shoulders away from the earth, tuck in your chin slightly, and then begin to reach your right hand to your right heel, come back to center, left hand to left heel, come back to center. Take it over to the right, and then over to the left. All right, so what I like to do is I like to breathe in to come to center, breathe out to tap a heel. One more on each side. All right, and lower. Oh, you're doing awesome. Give the belly a little bit of a pat once again. All right, friends. One more. You got this. We can do it. All right, send the legs to the sky once again. Scoop the tailbone up. All right, place your hands at your sides, palms face down. You can grab the outer edges of your mat for support and stability. If not, you can just keep your hands resting on the mat. All right, again, you can keep a bend in those knees and then begin to slowly lower your right foot towards the earth, hovering off of the ground, and then make your way back to start. The left leg now goes closer towards the earth, and then back to start. So I invite you to keep this action going. We're targeting the lower belly region, the lower abs. Move at a pace that feels good for you today. And again, you can marry breath to action. Breathing in to lift, breathing out to lower. Wherever you are, one more on each side. Beautiful. You can lower your feet to the earth. Whew. That was a heated practice, huh? So if you are feeling warm, interlace your fingers and then place your hands behind the back of your head, elbows nice and wide. And now walk your feet to the long edges of your mat, toes turn out, heels turn in. And now melt your knees over towards one side, can be any side. Soles of your feet lift away from the mat. And then over to the other side. So we are windshield wipering the legs. Melting your knees over to the other side. And then once again. So just continue windshield wipering your legs back and forth until eventually you send your legs out long on your mat, taking up space. Feet grow heavy and are relaxed. And feel free to keep your hands exactly where they are to just kind of cool it down. Or you can place your hands on your belly. Maybe even just giving your belly a little bit of a pat here. showing love and appreciation for all the amazing things that the core does for us. The back body, the front body, the sides. And feel free to close your eyes if you haven't done so already. We're just reconnecting with our breath, cooling it down, slowing down the heart rate. And props to you for showing up here today and doing the work. This, in my opinion, was a challenging practice. So regardless of how it went, know that you are amazing. And if you said, you know what, I'm not going to do that posture, or if you had to stop halfway through and like, hey, sometimes I do that with some of the workouts that I do, that's cool too. I just invite you to return to the practice and try it again. You know, see if the next time you can get a little bit further, right? You can challenge yourself, I guess, in a way. All right. Bring your hands together and then bring them up to your third eye, right between the eyebrows. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose or your mouth. Thank you so very much for joining me here today. That was day number 4 for the core on the floor. I cannot wait to see you for day number 5 tomorrow. Until then, we close today's practice by saying Namaste.